All right, so I am super excited to talk about Teams and Dynamics, but with Teams voice calling plan in Dynamic Sales. All right, so I'm going to reference probably a lot of the other blogs that talk about the technicalities and how to set this up and really what Teams voice is. But what we're going to do today is just jump straight into a demo showing how cool this product really is and how easy you can do calling from CRM, logging all of your details. And we're also going to be seeing how it is to receive a call back from from your customer into the CRM system. All right, and we're just going to be. I'm just going to jump right into the technique. No, the preview of this because this is just really cool. Honestly, this is just really cool stuff. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, so diving into the demonstration right now, I have opened up the Sales Hub, and I've also activated the Sales Accelerator. The Sales Accelerator is a great tool to sort of line up your actions for the day, right? So I can see everything that is planned for me today, and that could be leads I need to follow up, opportunities, accounts that might need follow up, and provide me with enough information to know what to do next. Because I've also connected this with something called sequence, saying that for the next step in this process, I'm supposed to introduce myself, and then there should be another potential reminder email that call the customer, etc., etc. Okay. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to say, well, the introduction in this case, because this is a phone demonstration, I'm going to be doing the introduction via telephone. Okay. And what you're going to see in this demonstration is here we have the phone number to the person I'm going to call, and it's a click to dial button in CRM. This is going to launch the dialer on the right side and call my number. And I'm going to just pause here in case the dialer doesn't work, because I just realized I have night mode or do not disturb mode on my phone. So I just need to make sure it's off. So I'm going to do pause here and then swoop over to when I click the button. All right, now, so I got my phone off of flight mode, and let's see what happens when I click the button, okay? So I start the dialer. And here we go. I'm being called by phone number, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer it on my phone, and I'm going to put on speaker and hopefully catch what it says here.
This call is being recorded.
All right, so now I just quickly put mute on both my mobile telephone, and up here in the corner I said mute for the speaker, because now I'm the salesperson and I am the customer, you know, and this one. So I just need to make sure that the sounds here are okay. Right now I'm in a live call from a customer, from the sales rep here to me as this person. In this case, I am Ruben Kidd, okay? On this mobile telephone, I'm Ruben Kidd. I just got informed that this call was being recorded, and this is really when we're going to get into the cool stuff. Okay, check this out. All right, so I'm going to go off here on mute, and I'm just going to introduce myself. Okay. Hi, Ruben. Oh no, I'll take the sound down here. There we go. I'm going to take this under the table. Hi, Ruben. This is Thomas. How are you doing today? I just wanted to call to follow up on something that I've sent you at some point, right? Okay. And you're thinking like, okay, but this is a regular call. Why is this cool? Well, check this out. This is a live transcript going from Thomas to Ruben at this point. So now I went on mute, okay? I'm going back to my mobile telephone. I'm going off mute on my mobile telephone. Hi, Thomas. Now, how nice of you to call. Well, since the last time we spoke, I'm pretending that we spoke before, right? That's going to be on the transcript. Since the last time we spoke, we got an offer from a company called Move, and we think they're really good. So we're thinking of going with that. But you know what? I think we should definitely follow up something around this offer tomorrow. I really like you as a company, so I think this is really cool, but the prices that you sent were terrible. They were not good at all. Okay. So you might notice that I did some wording here that sounded just very odd. But as you can see here, every now and then it will pick up on certain topics. Like, so we see here, this is my name. It has another thing here, move. I'll show you that. It has another trigger here called offer. All right. There's something here for tomorrow. We'll see if this works. Hopefully, crossing my fingers, this trigger will work. But I'll try to re-trigger more things, and I'll show you why in a second. But anyways, you can see here, this is a live transcript. And yes, this is in English right now, but guess what? There are so many other languages supported. This is pretty cool. It's a live transcript going on right now, and I'll show you the cool stuff soon, all right? I'm going to do one more trigger now just in case, so we can try to get that. Thank you so much for following up. And what I really want to do is I want to do something, and yes, let's book a meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m., okay? Tomorrow at 3 p.m., I'm sure that we can agree on some price that is good for both parties. But I'm going to try again just to make sure that we're going to say, I want to book a meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. All right, so I'm not sure if it's picking this up. You're probably going to see where I end up. So I'm going to be doing a little demonstration here, and hopefully we'll pick up stuff, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hang up the call. And so we have the transcript for the whole call, all right? We also have a call automatically logged here in the system, right? So the salespeople don't even have to log the call. This is being done automatically. This is really interactive. And one thing more I want to point out here. This client is embedded in Dynamics, all right? I did not install a third-party client. This is a part of Dynamics. And how cool isn't that? I mean, if you've ever done a third-party integration before, you know that you had to install a client on every single computer, and it's a pain in the ass, all right? This thing right here, embedded. I didn't install anything. I activated it. And think about the time for IT. Just administering this is a lot easier. I'm going to click on the full summary right now and check this out. Okay. I'm sure some things in my demo probably didn't work out as perfect, but let's just see where we end up. So first of all, we have the transcript here on the side, and I can search through this transcript. Another thing we have is because we have the recording and the transcript, if you see these, okay, I'm going to call they maybe turquoise or maybe teal, depending on how you see color. That is a positive sentiment. So if I click here, during this part of the call, I said, where am I here? So this is 109, all right? This is cool, right? It's a positive sentiment. But then it has the rest of the call is just neutral sentiment here. But then I say something over here. I'm starting to say something that is actually here defined as negative. So you see that red part. So what did I say that was negative? Yeah, prices you sent were terrible. All right. So it's actually picking up negative sentiments here. And of course I could, if I would have done notes during the call, they would have also been present here, but I can also do more things. Okay. But check this out. Suggested notes. Okay, I see some action items here. Does that mean that it actually worked? If I go over to my action items here, let's see what happened. Yes, it worked. All right, so I see here an action item for Thomas, booking a meeting tomorrow at 3 p.m. And I just, I kind of, the dialogue here is extremely fabricated, but that doesn't really matter because the calling here has picked up, or the transcript has picked up that I should be doing something tomorrow. In this case, I can actually do a better subject name for this. And let's just say, book a meeting tomorrow at 3. Doesn't really matter, all right? This is just the subject. And of course, I would just going to set the date. So that would be tomorrow. And that's basically it, all right? Don't focus too much about this. This is basically just setting up a reminder. So I'm just going to go for the 19th thing in this case, okay? So what I can do here is that if I click create now, it's actually going to create that task to follow up whatever I need to follow up. So these are action points, all right? This is being picked up automatically from this. This is when we're talking about the salespeople being in a call and actually being able to sort of plan whatever comes of action points from that call. you know, because for every time you call a customer, hopefully you get a new action point to follow something up, right? So this is the really cool part. So anyway, I can do a create here. So see here, I'm going to do not an edit. I'm just going to do the create. Book a meeting tomorrow at 3. Doesn't really matter. We'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Fine. So I created an action item, and I can even open up and see the tasks. We're not going to do that right now. I also have highlights here. So if you remember that I said something about move as a company, and I said something about prices or price often, or even offer, I used a few other keywords. These are keywords that I have said for the system that competitors, one of them is called move, all right? And these other keywords here are completely other keywords that I've set up. So every time I mention them, they're going to be logged. So we get to see how often certain customers mention something, or you mention something as a salesperson. Maybe it's even something like if you have we all in the language have certain ways of expressing ourselves. And in Norway, we have one way of saying things. In the US, if you heard like any type of reality show, all the people will, yeah, it was like, and this was like, and it was like totally awesome, and it was like totally bad. You know, it was like, it's just a stupid word that means nothing. And it is, you know, some might consider that a very immature word. What about if that was one of these words you set up, right? Just to be aware of yourself. How often am I using that word in the conversation? You know, hopefully trying to transition away from not using that word anymore to appear at least more professional. It was just an example. Of course, we can have many other words here that can be triggers and stuff like that. So anyway, I can go back to my action item, and of course I can click here and I can open and see the task. That's just going to open the regular task that I had here, right? And it's just going to be noted something. And of course I can mark this as complete and be done with it. I'm just going to go back here. I'm just going to close this off, and I've done my introduction to this person, all right? So let's that would be rewind, would be wrong. Let's move ahead 1 day from now. Maybe I forgot to do something. Okay, I'm going to close this off, or something happened right after this call, and you know what? The customer decided, you know what? I want to follow this up quicker or sooner. Who knows, right? So what happens? Because here's the thing: we're showing you what happens when it calls out of the system, but in this case, just so FYI, I'm calling as my mobile telephone number. I could change it to be a company number provided on the way out, but I can also call as a personal number. That's what we normally do in Norway. The salespeople always have their personal mobile telephone number that they call out. So what if they call my mobile telephone number in? Will it call on just my phone, or will it also call here? Let's check it out. So I'm going to dial the same number that just called me because I called back. And check that out. Within the client, I'm getting a pop-up saying this is an inbound call from Ruben. So I'm going to answer this, and of course, and I'm just going to click on mute on both things here. Of course, this call is popping up the same way as the last call. It's the same type of call, right? But this time it's an inbound call from Ruben and not an outbound call from sales. Hi, Ruben. Oh, sorry, I'm Thomas in this case. I'm speaking to my phone. Hi, Thomas. You know what? I really love your deal. Let's just hit it. All right, let's go for this stuff. I really like Teams dialing, and I really love Dynamics. Let's just make a move. All right, deal's done. We close off the call. Close it up. We can do a refresh here just to see that we got him calling in this case, right? So we have the directions. This was first started with an outbound call. It generated, after some action points, a follow-up that we needed to do. And we eventually had a back inbound call, and we're getting all of our transcripts and everything logged. And if I wanted to reopen it just to see what it was, I open up the phone call. I'm going to see a tab here called call summary. Within the call summary, we actually get to see the whole thing with all the action points, potential notes that I took, eventual highlights that I had, competitors mentioned, stuff like that, right? So we get to see the whole thing. We have negative and we have positive sentiments and stuff like that, okay? So this is, if you ask me, just incredibly cool, because I mean, I know this is still in preview, but this is working, right? So the main thing you got to figure out is actually not really about dynamics. Figure out your call plan. If you already have an E5 license, I think, don't hold it against me. I think if you're already paying for an E5 license, you already have teams calling. You just need to put it together with a carrier and phone numbers. So again, this is what, okay, so the demonstration that I did right now is together with a former colleague of mine called Kai. He represents a company called Blink. They are actually worldwide. They do the calling plans if you want to. They can do international calling plans. They do it all. It doesn't matter. They're a Norwegian company, but they are actually one of the best in the world at what they do. So we just went together and we put our heads, okay, can you figure out the team stuff? And he said, yeah, no, sure, no problem. One night he figured out the team stuff. And it's like, well, what is it like within Dynamics? We activated a button. Just by activating a button in Dynamics, we suddenly had calling plans in Dynamics, okay? So this is not some, demonstration that we worked, I would say, tens of days or anything like that. We literally did this within one night, just getting this part for the sales and the conversation intelligence working. So please go check it out. Please have a look at Teams and calling, because this is really making a big difference for salespeople. And I really love this tool right now. I mean, I'm overly excited just because technology is cool sometimes. Okay. So thank you for watching. And I hope this demonstration was, just precise enough not to talk about the technical parts, but just, really going into how it looks and feels, when we click into everything. All right. Thank you.